What's going on, guys? It's Nate and welcome to Beer Pressure. Now, as you can see, the new year brought in a whole new studio. So my goal is to keep bringing you guys brand new content and making it better and stuff that you guys want to see. So go ahead and click that subscribe button so you won't miss any of the action. And let's get to the beers. Alright guys, today I'm excited to be taking a look at Evolution Brewing Company. Now this is a brewer based out of Salisbury, Maryland, and this merch, as well as these beers, were all sent to me from my sister, so thank you so much for that. Now Evolution Brewing Company, I did a little research on the guys who started it, and it's quite a cool story. I suggest checking it out if you can. But pretty much, one of the owners had a love for craft beer, the other had a love for good food. So what they did is they put them together and made the best of both worlds. That being said, these are 4 of their mainline beers, one of their main kind of beers they put out there, and they all are specifically brewed with certain chemistries to pair well with certain foods. So guys, check them out. If you're on the East Coast watching this, they got a tap house, a public house, and a pizzeria that all features their beer on tap. For me, I got them in bottles, and let's check them out. First up on our list, we have the lot number 3 IPA. So this is an American style IPA. It's one of their main beers that they produce. Coming in at 6.8 alcohol by volume. I'm expecting some hops and I'm expecting some pininess, and you guys know I love a good IPA. So maybe with this new lighting you can kind of get a better look at what we're working with. Good smells. Not overpowering in any way. Smelling kind of citrusy. Ooh. I'm a sucker for IPAs, you know that. The thing I enjoy a lot about IPAs because this one has more of a sweeter kind of, it's not like a tang, it's almost like a sweeter tang. Not like a tang, but it's not like sour, if you know what I mean. But a lot of the craft IPAs I have, they feel a lot heavier, and this almost feels light. It's obviously not a very, it's decently light, not hazy whatsoever, but ooh, it's kind of got like a sweet pine taste to it that I'm kind of enjoying quite a bit. So maybe I should have brought some food with me. I know that when I was looking it up, this IPA is said to pair well with pretty much spicy foods, spicy seafood, kind of like Indian jerk cuisines. But overall, it's a good start. I think I always say that. Maybe I should try beers that aren't good to start. I gotta represent though, you know what I mean? It's interesting, I've been doing a lot of stouts lately, and obviously this is not a stout, but it's almost creamy in a way. Like, it's super smooth, and again, not super heavy as I was previously expecting. IPAs, again, are my forte, but I'm not like a professional. So again, with most IPAs, it's very hop forward, and that's what kind of makes the India Pale Ale the way it is. But it's not overpowering whatsoever, and this is definitely something I could sip on and enjoy over a period of time, and probably have more than one. It's got a little slight haze, but not so much. That might just be from the brewing process. But I don't know, let's compare it to the rest of the ensemble. Alright, it's time to double down with the lot number 6 double IPA. And pretty much the difference between IPA, double IPA, triple IPA, whatever it may be, is just the percentage alcohol. Now, I'm not sure exactly what goes into the process of adding alcohol. I don't know if it has to do with the fermenting, the yeast, whatever it is. So this one, the lot number 3 is 6.8%. This one is 8.5%. So it's going to pack a bigger bite, but I'm looking forward to it. So again, it's an IPA, so we're going to get the hops, the citrusy. Typically, I think as they go higher in alcohol percentage, usually I feel like they get a little more juicy. And I know I've talked about that before, but I don't know what makes it juicy, you know, the fruitiness kind of flavor. Okay, so I work nearby a local brewery, and the smell I'm getting from this is the smell that I kind of smell in the air. It's got to be the hops in it. It's got to be. it's a very distinct, I'm gonna keep smelling. It's a very distinct smell. Like, it's hard to put into words to someone who doesn't like understand beer, but you know hops when you smell them. So let's go in. Whew. That is pleasant, guys. Evolution Brewing. I don't know if we have them out where I'm at. I'm on the West Coast. I don't think I've seen these out here, but maybe I'll have to keep my eyes peeled for them. Definitely a lot more bite to it, but there's something that, like, some similarities between the two of these is like that underlying note that you get like at the end. It's somewhat sweet, and like it adds a really nice balance to both of them, if that makes sense. This one, with it being a higher alcohol percentage, it's got a little bit more bite to it, but it's still, again, it's just, these are very well balanced beers so far. And I talk about balance a lot on this channel, you know, because I think that's a key to kind of the chemistry in your mind with beer, is you don't want to overly, in my opinion, you don't want to overly strong. Like, you don't want to feel like you're taking a shot when you're trying to enjoy a beer. You want the flavors, right? But you don't necessarily want it overly sweet unless you're having a fruit beer or like a dessert beer. Because if I'm going for an IPA, I want it right on the fence, right in the middle, you know what I mean? And these are doing it. I mean, this one, it's almost like a sweet citrus, okay? And so the foods that this would pair with are pretty much the same over here, you know, anything kind of spicy and especially like salty and fried. And again, that comes back to balance. That's the chemistry behind it, you know? I don't know about you guys. For me, if I eat something like super sweet, almost immediately afterwards I'm done eating, I'm kind of craving something salty. And that's where this would come into play. You know, it's a sweeter beer, and then you get the salt going in your mouth, and it kind of like, just the balance is really key. I'll be saying balance a lot, so keep your ears peeled. But yeah, I could see. Now I have no experience with the spicy foods in beer. I typically stay away from overly spicy foods, so I'm not sure where that kind of maybe it would kind of cut into it. I'm gonna pour some more. You can tell when I'm enjoying a beer when I just keep sipping on it. But yeah, lot number 6 gets more than a 6 on my scale. I'm excited for this one, guys. This is the Pine Hopple IPA. Pine Hopple. Play on words, obviously, right? So this is a pineapple IPA, so it should be way more fruity than the other ones. And I've had other pineapple IPAs from a local brewery here, and it's pretty good. It's like, it's surprising. And the more beers that I kind of review and taste test and stuff like that, the more I'm starting to like the fusion. You know what I mean? Like the fusion pineapple IPA, you want to expect it. It's not just like your plain and simple kind of IPAs. It's got a little more exoticness to it. So pineapple IPA. It's also a 6.8% alcohol per volume, by volume, whatever you want to call it. Still looking on par. So far, all 3 of the beers have been about the same as far as cloudiness, you know, density, color, all that. It looks about the same. Smelling fruity. Yeah. This is a beer I could get behind. So, it does taste pineapple-y. The other kind of flavors that were coming through with the other IPAs is almost more muted. And the pineapple's not like overpowering. Like, whereas I don't feel like I just sipped on pineapple juice. It is like enough to make it a pleasant experience. You know what I mean? Balance, guys, balance, right? So let's try again. Let's keep analyzing. yeah, it's almost like a, I don't want to say it's a hint of pineapple because that would imply that there's not much pineapple flavor to it, but it's almost like a big hint of pineapple. That doesn't make sense, does it? Because it's not like overly powerful and it's not like throughout the whole taste. Like it's not pineapple all the time, but towards the end you get like just like a little squirt of pineapple juice. But I'm really enjoying these beers. I gotta try some beers that I don't enjoy if they're out there. Future video, you will see. Again, something that I'm noticing with all these beers so far is they're super smooth on the mouth. And a lot of times with IPAs, just sometimes beers, you just don't get that. Like they're not super carbonated, which I think might apply. This one's probably a little creamy. I always am looking over here like there's something going on. Anyways, what was I saying? The mouth feels good. They're pretty foamy. I mean, as you can see, the bubbles are sticking to the cup. The pineapple is, they say it's paired well with kind of barbecue foods and pretty much anything that's grilled, which makes sense, you know. I don't know. I like, you know, grilling up some pineapple, and this would be really good with like some barbecue, like some Hawaiian barbecue or like Korean barbecue even maybe. Probably Hawaiian barbecue. I could enjoy sipping on this while eating some short ribs or something like that. So far we're 3 for 3. Let's see if we can go 4 for 4. Alright guys, next up we have the Stalker Hefeweizen, and this is a wheat beer. Now if you saw my Sam Adams video, I wasn't necessarily too fond of wheat beer. In a similar scenario, I had a lot of IPAs and a lot more flavorful beers before it. Was it that video? Who knows? I'll link them below anyways, so let's keep going. But wheat beers typically aren't overly flavorful as some other beers are. Well, we'll see. Obviously, it's the lightest of the beers, and maybe that's what it is. You know, lighter beers for me, they're less flavorful, so they're less enjoyable for me. This comes in at 5% alcohol by volume. I gotta stop messing that up. But let's see how the Stalker Hefeweizen does. Again, with smells, it smells a lot. It's way different. You know, you smell over here, you're smelling hops. You're smelling a little more citrusy, kind of sour smells. With a wheat beer, you're gonna smell wheat, barley, and malts. I'm doing good with my words on this one. Okay. Okay, everything that I've said before is just disprove it. This is a pretty good wheat beer. And the reason I say that is like towards the end there's almost like, and this is the wrong kind of word probably, but it's almost like a metallic-y? I want to say like a metallic-y flavor. Yeah, there's a lot that happens with this beer. Yeah, it's metallic. So first initial kind of flavor, I'm not getting much, but as it kind of sits on the tongue and as I swallow and as I just kind of taste it more, it kind of transforms between like the no taste to, hold on. You know, it's almost like bananas. That's what it is. I said metallic-y, that was not correct. This is pretty good wheat beer. I mean, as I said, I'm not the fondest of wheat beers, so this is pretty. I'm gonna pour some more. You can tell when I'm enjoying a beer when I just keep sipping on it. I just want to savor this. It's got a little bit of a hint of a cloud. But yeah, it's almost like, I think it's gotta be bananas, and I'll look it up to see if that's kind of the flavors, but. Yeah, coming off the nose, I wasn't impressed, but it goes to, so let me recap here. I got off track. So there's kind of no flavor, and then it goes up and it's kind of sweet, and then it kind of tops off at that metallic-y. It's got to be the banana flavor. But overall, I'm pretty impressed with this. we beers have been redeemed. Well guys, I was pretty impressed with Evolution Brewing's beers. So again, like I said in the beginning, just to recap, these are 4 of their many mainline beers. So these are kind of the most common ones you'll find. All of them were pretty good. The pineapple was good. Honestly though, I think the double IPA was probably my favorite out of this pack. So check them out, go on their website, check out some of their merch. And I just want to take a quick minute to thank you guys for watching and supporting. Obviously my channel's still in the infancy, but I'm doing some things behind the scenes to make it better for you guys, because I just want to bring you good content. So stay tuned for the future to see what this becomes, and enjoy responsibly.